I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Albert Pike was one of the most colorful characters in American history. It is said that he was born on December 29, 1809 in Boston, was the eldest son of 6 children born to Benjamin and Sarah Andrew Pike. He studied at Harvard and later served as Brigadier General of the Confederate Army. After the Civil War, Pike was found guilty of treason and jailed, only to be pardoned by President Andrew Jackson on April 2, 1866, who met with him the next day at the White House. On June 20th, 1867, Scottish Rite officials conferred upon Johnson 32nd degree Freemasonry degrees. Pike was said to be a genius, able to read and write 16 languages. He was one of the founding fathers of the head of the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, being the Grand Commander of North America Freemasonry from 1859, and retained that position until his death in 1891. In 1869, he was the top leader of the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Pike was said to be a Satanist who indulged in the occult, and he apparently possessed a bracelet which he used to summon Lucifer, with whom he had constant communication. He was the Grand Master of a Luciferian group known as the Order of the Palladium, or of Sovereign Council of Wisdom, it's also been called, which had been founded in Paris in 1737. Now, General Albert Pike was the only Confederate general with a statue on federal property in Washington, D.C. He was honored not as a commander or even as a lawyer, but as Southern Regional Leader of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. The statue stands on a pedestal near the foot of Capitol Hill between the Department of Labor building and the Municipal building between 3rd and 4th Streets on D Street Northwest. Now, I tell you all of this because it is said that he received a vision from his mentor, Mr. Lucifer, I guess, on August 15th, 1871. And William Guy Carr, former intelligence officer in the Royal Canadian Navy, wrote a book called Satan, Prince of this World, in which he gives this information. He said that he received this information from a book written by Cardinal Caro Rodriguez in Santiago, Chile, who wrote in 1925 a book called The Mystery of Freemasonry Unveiled. And in this book, in 1925, it is said that he wrote a letter to a man named Mazzini in which he described this dream. And in the dream, he predicted 3 world wars. The First World War, he said, must be brought about, and I'm quoting from Albert Pike. The First World War must be brought about in order to permit the Illuminati to overthrow the power of the czars in Russia and of making that country a fortress of atheistic communism. The divergences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the British and German empires will be used to foment this war. At the end of the war, communism will be built and used in order to destroy the other governments and in order to weaken the religions. Now, students of history will know that Otto von Bismarck forged certain alliances between 1871 and 1898, which brought about this war, this World War I. And Otto von Bismarck here says that he was a co-conspirator with Albert Pike, and he was the one instrumental in bringing about the First World War. Well, that's the First World War. Then he dreams that there must be, he is given in this visionary dream, a Second World War. Now, remember, this was in 1925 that it became public in this book written by a cardinal from Santiago, Chile, Rodriguez. He says, quote, the Second World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences between the fascists and the political Zionists. This war must be brought about so that Nazism is destroyed and that the political Zionism will be strong enough to institute a sovereign state of Israel in Palestine. During the Second World War, international communism must become strong enough in order to balance Christendom, which would then be restrained and held in check until the time when we would need it for the final social cataclysm. Well, there are some who may argue that the terms Nazism and Zionism were not known in 1871. You should remember, however, that the Illuminati invented both of these movements. In addition, communism as an ideology and as a coined phrase originates in France during the Revolution. In 1785, Restif coined the phrase 4 years before the revolution broke out. Restif and Babeuf in turn, were influenced by Rosé, as was the most famous conspirator of them all, Adam Weishaupt. Then he has this vision, in this vision, not only one world war and two world wars, but here comes the third world war. He says, and I quote, "The third world war must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agents of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world." Yeah, that's what he says. The war, this was 1925. Please understand that. At least 1925. May go all the way back to 1871, as is purported to do, but at least it was written in a book and published in 1925. So he says, after World War I was just over a few years, and before World War II even started, he's now thinking about this third world war, and it says that it will be caused by the differences between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. That's what it says. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economic exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm in which, in all its horror, will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin and savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. So he's against Christianity and he's against atheism. They're supposed to fight each other to the death, you see. Then he says, everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowledge where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. That's what he says. Brought finally out in the public view. So he's saying that Lucifer will finally make himself, the good guy. He's going to save the world from these atheists who don't believe in deity and from these Christians who believe in the good God. Well, so it says, this manifestation will result in the general reactionary movement which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Well, I don't know if it's true, but I can tell you that it sure has played into what is being carried on in the Middle East today. And it looks like everything from World War I and World War II, with the development of the state of Israel, and with the Zionist movement and the communist movement and the atheist movement and the peppering down of persecution on the Christians of this world, it looks like that may be Lucifer's attempt at annihilation of us all, so that Lucifer will appear in the form, of course, of what the Bible calls the Antichrist, and establish peace on earth for mankind. I got news for all those Illuminatists. Their little plan will only last for 3.5 years and will be destroyed by the second coming of Jesus Christ himself, who, by the way, is going to take all of us Christians out of this world before the 7 years sets in, before this Luciferian ideal can capture the imaginations of people on planet Earth. There won't be a fight between Christianity and atheism because we will be gone. But the atheists, they might meet their demise at the hands of the Antichrist when he introduces Lucifer, his old pal. I can tell you this, they're all going to be thrown into the lake of fire. So says the Word of God, and I believe it from cover to cover. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.
They turn birthright into paperwork, stamped your spirit with a barcode, but laws written on your heart ain't signed by any court. They say license for your living, permit just to pray. They rebranded what was given, tried to bill you for your day. Well, my breath ain't on their balance sheet, so don't fit their frame. When the maker writes the mandate, every tyrant looks the same. They tax your time, then sell it back in smaller screens and quiet apps. But freedom's first a mental map. You want out the maze, then trace the trap. I was scrolling through the circus, feeling small in every ring, till I realized I'm the lion that forgot he once was king. They condition you to kneel, then call it safety when you stay. But courage is obedience to higher voice than state. Proper instruction under this people. Proper instruction under this people. Proper instruction under this people. Proper instruction under this people.
God damn it, Paul.
Gorilla. I ain't fighting just the system, I'm a victim of my pride. All the jail I ever slipped in was the one behind my eyes. Envy was my warden, comfort was my cage. Had to crucify my ego just to really live this faith. They love you weak, always asking for a favor, hands out. But the blueprint in your bloodstream screams stand up, branch out. I was waiting on the leader, then the silence hit me hard. If I won't lead my own habits, how I'm speaking for my God. So I fast from all the poison that they're piping through the wires. Feed my mind on higher fire, let that scripture lift me higher. If I govern every thought, that's a kingdom in my chest. Then no paper crown, no paycheck ever tells me what is best. No proper instruction, no that is people. Proper instruction, no that is gorilla. Proper instruction, no that is people. Proper instruction, no that is gorilla. They can seize your gold, never steal your glow. Chain your body, never cage your soul. Every statute small. Next to one true law written on us all. Proper instruction, know that it's people. Proper instruction, know that it's gorilla. Proper instruction, know that it's people. Proper instruction, know that it's gorilla.
Testing. Are we on? We got a new Proper Instruction Motivates People by our reggae band, lead singer Gorilla Gems. At least that's the story that I'm telling. So yeah, we're back at it, of course. Let me check my situation here. We got some equipment changes. Please let me know if I am having issues with my video and audio situation. But if not, we're going to move right along. So today's intro brought to you by apparently Lucifer himself, as JR laid out. I figured we'd cover this. We covered this going on probably 3 to 5 years ago at least, probably the 4 or 5 year mark. We covered the Albert Pike letter to Mazzini, 1870, I believe, 1871, and then published 1925 in one of the toilet paper of records, as Mr. Salente would call it. I forget which newspaper, but so we have that letter going back at least to 1925, right? Because, you know, like many other things, folks like to claim it's a hoax, it's not real, it's not a thing. It is, in fact, a thing. Like I said, if you don't believe that it goes back to 1871, we at least know, we at least have a public record on file 1920s. Okay, so begs the question how Mr. Pike and others would foresee, right, or even be able to plan 3 world wars over 100 years before any of this stuff spontaneously supposedly happened, right? So, and again, that's part of the reason why I've covered it here for many years sporadically, because I do tend to believe that the majority of events that we see on America and just world events in general are in fact organized on the highest level. I've gone even far enough to suspect. I'll never say absolutely what it is or it isn't, but I strongly suspect that it's even very well possible that a good majority of the participants here in this realm don't even know who or what they're serving and potentially what they're creating as we go along here. So, if the claim is anything, the claim is that there are spiritual forces here. That's scripturally sound. For those of you who buy into the fact that the scripture is the absolute word of God. Speaking of which, Snafu Snaps is here now. I'm sure we all had a feeling he'd be joining us. He's usually the first in and last out. We'll go to him. Quick commentary, and then we'll circle back around. I got a lot to get to, Snafu Snaps. Today is one of those days. If you love me, you'll leave me alone. Unless you have questions, comments, concerns related to the material, right? Because we're at World War III, man. You know, like, clap it up. We need some applause for the World War III scenario that we're now in. I can't get a longer applause than that. Maybe how about a U.S. slave? Yeah, U.S. slave, U.S. slave, U.S. slave. Oh, I love that. It's so inspiring. I love these people. It's so inspiring. But yeah, we're at a potentially end time scenario, and or the end of an age, and or the coming of a potential new world order. And of course, everything is a dichotomous, dualistic idea. So either potentially a new world order based on sovereignty, crazy idea, although we have JD Vance up there. I'm going to play it again today, saying we all need to become sovereign citizens all of a sudden. So either a new world order based in sovereignty, aka truth, life, and way, under God, God's will, free will, to self-govern, or we have new world order here, and you know, being propagated more and more, this idea of complete control, tracking and tracing, and toxified environments, right? All, as I said earlier, brought to you by Lucifer himself, if you believe Mr. Albert Pike, one of the only, if not the only man who has a statue, Washington, D.C. I think there's a few of them, very few of them, but he's one of them for some weird reason, head of World Freemasonry. So, yeah, either folks are going to get their head out of their ass and they're going to have revealed to them that authority has always been an illusion and a delusion, and a modality for disempowerment, right? They're going to realize that we've always had objective morality here we can tap into. We have God-given rights, and we're going to uphold that as law of the land. And you could argue a law of love, so to speak. I mentioned that in my original travel video with Mr. Valdez, this idea of the law of love, or true care, I think is a better way to put it. We're either going to be governed by that, true heart-based Christed care, you could argue, tapping into that Holy Spirit and higher realms of consciousness, or, as I said, we're going to be tracked and traced, injected 14 times for safety, hit with a bunch of different magnetic rays from weapon systems because we need faster downloads, and all the rest of it. You know the thing, you know the deal by now. Agenda 2030, Russia 2050. We've been over it ad nauseum. And again, I contend as your host here, P.T. Barnum, today, and it's Barnum because they're all animals, right? Earth Inc. is not only a business, it's essentially a free-range farm for wannabe slaves and wannabe pimps, right? That's why we're pimp unslaved here. Proper instruction motivates people. It's an acronym because I believe the whole world is pimping and hoeing. They just don't know it. Or farming, right? That's a little bit more politically correct on a family broadcast. Pimping and hoeing, not so much. All right, let's bring in Snafu Snaps because he's back there and he's kind of distracting me. And I'm not going to blame him completely. It's probably my ADHD.
Well, your audio is going in and out too.
My audio is going in and out. Oh, man.
Yeah, just so you know.
Oh, man. How about that, Snafu Snaps? Is that better?
Sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you did, fixed it.
Okay, Jeep Strikes, there is a soft in and out, but it's not terrible. So were people even hearing what I was saying
Yeah.
Or just
I mean, we were
completely
hearing
okay?
it. It was just cutting in and out. It was just getting annoying until you fixed it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go. Gain is up a little bit.
You're good now.
You know, they wonder why I get paranoid from time to time. Not only do I have that predisposition, but folks go, they're messing with your volume. The black helicopters are surrounding you. They're cutting your signal and messing with your microphone, right? And I go, oh, well.
You better tinfoil your fucking trailer.
Right. I got to cover this fucking thing. I got to create some kind of Faraday cage or something. All right. What do you got for me, Snappy Snaps? Questions, comments, concerns, real fishermen, hashtag journalism.
I dropped 2 links. One's the Albert Pike letter optics for you. The other one is
that already. I got that.
Yeah, okay. The no knock warrants that we're witnessing in Australia are going to start happening here in the States. I dropped some optics of the new bill that they passed for no knock warrants for guns.
Oh no.
And then also get this, AI can't read cursive, and I've been putting it to the test, and that's why they have banned, that's why they took cursive out of the education system and are getting away. So if for all you guys who do the AI fuck around testing to that, AI has a really hard time reading cursive. So I'm interested. There's some programmers who are going to do some weird shit, test some shit out. But yeah, interesting.
Okay, you're making me work more now. You're making me do extra work. In the future, Snappy Snaps, I appreciate your participation. If you can, try to bring me, and again, I get it. There are no official sources, but try to bring me the article from an official bullshitter outlet, right?
I got him. I got him. I'm gonna do it. I don't
want to play videos. I don't want to play videos of these other folks' channels because then I up my chances.
One's a news clip. The 2A no knock warrant is a news
it's
clip.
Not. It's some guy in a hat with a channel who's
okay. There's other videos on that exact bill. All you
he's a newscaster and a journalist like you are. Like I am, quite frankly, right? So I'm saying
you're the guru side of it. We're real whistleblowers, real journalists. You're like guru.
You're fishers of men. I throw the men back, right? You fish them, I throw them back in. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? New gun bill allows police to enter home to check for guns. USA News now. I'll accept that. I mean, the term USA is in the title, news is in the title. That feels pretty official to me.
News.
Snafu, please take a breath, okay? Let me drive the train, all right? I'll go to you. Always remember that I'll go to you, okay?
Does our train have a caboose?
As I was saying, hang out in the back. Hang out in the back, and my correspondent, Snafu Snaps, he's going to hang in the back. Minnesota gun control just crossed into warrantless home inspections, and every American should be paying attention. In this video, I break down Minnesota Senate File 4290. Ooh, a Senate file. That's different than a bill and an act and some other playwright nonsense. Oh, it is a bill. Okay. A bill introduced on March 10, 2026 that would ban possession of many semi-automatic rifles and large capacity magazines, requiring current owners to request certification to keep certain firearms and require them to agree to law enforcement inspection of storage. They're going full on, as we didn't know at some point. They're going full on with not only the tracking and tracing and the vaxing and chipping. Oh, man. They're going for the gusto. They're going for all of it, right? And that's as it should be. Everything is perfect in its imperfection. Again, you want to act like a hoe, you get treated like a hoe. That's the bottom line in this reality. So they come to my channel every day, right? On the Patriot Hub that can't get more than 30 live viewers on almost a 30,000 person channel. And every day they show up to mock me. And they say, what a crazy, stupid, dumb, sovereign citizen. You're out here getting people arrested, putting people in danger. What is your problem? Right. I'm the problem. I'm the issue. Our philosophy here is the issue and the problem, not the fact that your corporatist, fascistic masters are writing up plays and bills and acts to use policy and code to take all your property and your future livelihood if you let them. Because again, all statute, policy, and code here is not law. It's only given the force of law through the consent of the governed. Can't say that enough. I repeat myself so much here and other places. And some of that's getting through, right? We are seeing many other content creators, broadcasters, even folks in the mainstream starting to echo a lot of these narratives and understandings, right? So we are doing our part here, you know, one little piece at a time, one day at a time, one looping repetitive broadcast at a time, right? Such is life. Practice makes perfect. So just like they loop ad infinitum, bullshitting everybody about statism, fascism, collectivism, and all the other isms, we come here fairly regularly to remind folks it's all a delusion. It's all a dupe. It's all a hoax, right? It's all pimping and hoeing. Okay, we'll finish up this article here. Then I'm going to swing back around. Snafu Snaps means well, he's participating in the decent article, decent idea here, right? To get the point across. Because again, it's not like I'm just here talking and most people are on board with it, but they're just scared to do something. No, the majority of folks are not only not on board, they think it's just dandy. They want ICE everywhere checking for everybody's papers. They want thousands and millions of policies and codes to keep them safe. They want centralized banking systems and authoritarians to completely run their life. Because really what it is it's a thousands-year-old program to selectively breed out certain qualities that lead to qualifications to actually lead and co-create here under God, right? They want to completely emasculate you. So I now have grown men on America showing up to my channel to tell me I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm crazy, I'm unsafe. What could possibly go wrong here? As their daddy, Albert Pike, and his daddy, Lucifer, literally not only predict, but co-create wars, economic collapses, new financial systems, quote unquote, new financial systems, digitized systems, tokenizations. But no, it was Satoshi Nakamoto, right? A guy who we don't know who he is. He's never shown back up again, even though we have the NSA files 10 years before Bitcoin was ever created, that the NSA is working on a digitized currency system. Just so many, my mind just I almost just go completely blank. I almost can't even focus on any one thing because there's just so many fucking coincidences in this reality. You wouldn't believe it. But as we know, I am in fact a danger to democracy. Cut to producer, the famous, now infamous clip we used in an intro of all of the newscasters on the same day using the exact same phrase from coast to coast, from California to Arizona to Montana to New York, just state to state, nationwide, all using the same phrases. It's almost like everybody's running a script here, even though everybody says that they're their own people with their own thoughts, having their own experience. Let's go.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS4 News produces.
But we are concerned about troubling, irresponsible, one-sided news stories
plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false
news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first. Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 Right. So if you didn't get that, this is extremely dangerous to our democracy. So anyone else kind of concerned, you know, and this is for you folks. Like, share, subscribe, restream for a chance to win. Just don't ask me what. Let's just say whatever you're going to win is for your safety. Okay. Did I get it wrong? 602-730-0122. Call in. Because who's this creature? There's a creature down there. I'm addressing you folks specifically in these moments. All of you voters, all you policy, statute, and code followers, all you Trump's my daddy, Joe Biden's my daddy. These broadcasts are essentially for you, right? That's what I'm telling you because I want you to interact with me. The reality of it is it's for all the Unslavians who can see through this, always had the intuition, and then did the research and realized more about what this all is. And we come here to laugh at you and mock you in order to cope with the fact that we're surrounded by a bunch of folks who are going to continue to choose their own slavery and genocide. So TYM 6245, call in or hit the panel link. I just posted it down there for you. Tell me about how I'm using the word fascist incorrectly, and make sure that when you get up here, if you get up here, because most of you are cowards, that you call me the obligatory liberal and libtard, because you are in fact a conservatard, right? Is how that works. So I'm not using the term incorrectly. This is based on absolute definition, historical context. Fascism is the merger of state and corporate powers. We got to do it, folks. Almost every broadcast, we have to do this, and that's okay. You know, it's like it becomes a job here, right? Like anything else. I thought I was going to start a broadcast, just yap a little bit, you know, have a good time, cover some issues. No, it's like a job here. Get on your mark, Paulie boy. It's time to inform a slave. Who doesn't want to be informed, by the way? Those are the hardest slaves to inform. So there it is. We'll start there. Okay. United States means A, and this is from 28 USC 3002. United States means A federal corporation, agency, department, commission, board, or other entity of the United States. Okay, so did you get that? That was A. A was a federal corporation when it comes to the United States Code's definition for United States itself. That's A, federal corporation. Let's just go right down the line here, like we always do. 15 USC section 4724 United States Code defines a United States business means A United States citizen, B, a corporation, partnership, or other association created under the laws of the United States. And of course, law in that sense means code, okay? Because we don't deal with codes when we deal in a corporate capacity. We deal with statute, policy, and code. Policies and codes are for corporations and corporate entities. Okay, so that's two definitions down of United States citizens and the United States itself being corporate entities. Okay, and even defined as businesses. We have 289-307, location of debtor. In this section, place of business means a place where a debtor conducts its affairs. And of course, if we scroll down, we will find, where is it? Right. The District of Columbia. Okay. United States, that business, that corporation defined in the other code, location is in the District of Columbia. So your corporation isn't even sea to shining sea. Its principal location, its head branch, where it begins and ends, right? Because that's its jurisdiction, is the 10 square mile non-unionized state called the District of Columbia. All right. And you know what, at some point here, as I'm known to do, I may have to go off on some legal law gurus, and I may have to name them specifically because they don't want to talk to me about legal and lawful. And when I ask them questions, they act smug and arrogant, and they want to do $2,000 an hour consultations with folks. I got to have folks hitting me up going, do you know this guy, specifically one guy? Yeah, he's doing $2,000 an hour consultations. He's selling people diplomatic plates. And then when I reach out to him and ask him, has he ever been arrested? Has he ever gone to court? Has he ever been successful at court? He says, no, I never went. I don't have to. Okay, so I'm very wary of all these legal lawful gurus who just came out of left field out of nowhere and claim to know it all and have all the answers and want to sell people what could be considered forged and fraudulent instruments. And then when asked by somebody else who's a part of this experience, who has the experience, what they're doing, they either don't want to answer or have to be chased in order to answer, and then give me some non-answer. Right. And then proceed to tell me, well, maybe I should look at all of their material, buy their books, and go to their website before I make a determination. How about no? Okay. So, look out for that, because the same thing they project onto me, right? I show you who and what I am, what I do. I show you my wins and my losses, right? I show you me riding away without license, registration, insurance, and plates, being stopped by cops. I show you me getting arrested multiple times and having to go to court. Yes, it's worked out every time so far at court. That doesn't mean it always will. And that doesn't mean that it will for you. Results may vary. Okay. So, yeah. And, these folks like to make statements like they're for the idea of their Columbia being resurrected, but they won't answer me on what they're talking about on any level, right? Like what Columbia is to them, why the District of Columbia, what does it mean to them, what's the original etymology, how is it being used potentially in this scenario, right? It could be argued as a revelation of method / humiliation ritual / mockery session, which goes on a lot with folks, whether they're aware of it or not. So, yeah, I'm speaking lightly on it. I may circle back on it. I want to get some more information. I don't like jumping the gun nowadays. I've been known for that as well. I jump out of the box. I comment on what it seems to be, even though I know oftentimes most things are not what they seem to be, because there's just so much evidence with certain people, places, and things. It's almost impossible to avoid, right? But in this case, I'll speak indirectly about it. I'll do some more research on it. I'll talk with some more folks, and then we'll get back to it, right? Because again, these are the same people who they tell people they never get arrested and have to go to court because they're just so damn good at what they do. Okay. But then they have a contingency of folks who follow what they do, who they don't give answers to when they finally get arrested. And then they got to come to me. They got to go, Paulie boy, this person sold me a book and a fucking plate and everything but the kitchen sink. And I got arrested, and now I got a court date, and they won't answer me or tell me how to deal with it. Right. Because you're an idiot. I don't sell anything here for a reason. It's not because I couldn't. I've been approached many times. Sponsorships, offers, products, services, pieces of paperwork, pamphlets, court case assistance, all the rest of it. I do what I do on the strength of it because I believe that I'm one of the few folks in these arenas chosen to do this for the right reasons, right? And I don't believe that it should be turned into a marketplace, so to speak, right? So again, one of the biggest things we can learn in the study of conscious and awareness, the practice of becoming more conscious and aware, this idea of courting, right, upholding the law, is discernment. So if you meet people and they're charging thousands of dollars for hour-long consultations without exception, if they're selling you bullshit plates that look like official plates but are not, if they got a gift shop full of merchandise, if they're going to sell you a piece of paper and a stack of cards to get you out of trouble, even though they suck at court or have never been and never gotten any results, you're a fool if you believe that person, if you buy into that, if you buy their crap, and then you try to do what they say they're doing that you've never seen them do. You're the idiot at that point. Because again, after everything we've all been through, how much we've been lied to and tricked and deceived and gaslit, not me, because I've always kind of had a great intuition. It's one of the only things I can really look to and go to that makes me redeemable, right, in and of the world. So yeah, if you don't have that intuition or that intuition's not working, you maybe need to develop that, right? Or just practice some logical discernment. How is somebody going to tell you how you're going to solve a problem you face if they have no evidence of them doing it for themselves and with others? They're setting you up for failure. Okay. Because again, it's very difficult to come into these arenas and not be almost completely motivated by various forms of power and profit. Okay. So again, there's my proviso, there's my warning, there's my indirect commentary, because it's in the back of my mind because it's come up recently for me, right? And then on the other side of things, my email's up there. Okay. If you want to reach out to me, questions, comments, concerns, or give me your experiences and stories with a guru near you who just has all the products and everything in place for sale at a premium, but never has any evidence of them applying it and getting results, because they don't need to, because they're just so damn good at legal lawful. What I found in my experiences, it doesn't work that way. Okay. Some of the best folks at legal lawful and upholding the law and understanding this do go to court from time to time. They got to put up or shut up. They do go to jail at some points, whether they're right or they're not. Right. Even if they are right, rather, or correct and true, you know, and battle tested. So don't believe the hype. That's the bottom line of what. Okay, we have a caller line here. 562, are you there? 562? No. Okay. Okay, they're calling. 562, are you there?
Howdy.
How are you? Is that you, Thomas?
Howdy. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Who's this? Give me a name.
I'm a caller.
Okay, it's that same kid with the whole state of Israel and whatever else. Okay, what can I do for you today? Because you have
not
nothing.
Kid, but,
Yeah, no, it's you. I can tell by your voice. We do this every time for the last 3 or 4 broadcasts. What can I do for you? Questions, comments, concerns? If you can't stay on track here or be interesting to me in the audience, I'm going to get you out of here pretty damn quick today. So,
okay, let's have a conversation then. No more
let's
trolling.
have a conversation. Go ahead. Questions, comments, concerns. What are the issues?
Yeah. What form of ideology most aligns with you the most? Sorry.
No idea. I don't sit around looking for ideologies to most align.
Are you scared that
if you're gonna cut me off, I'm gonna throw you the fuck out of here today like that. I don't know if you can see me, but I'm snapping my fingers like that. Do not interrupt me.
Sorry, Daddy.
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't sit around going over all the various ridiculous ideologies to compare with how I see the world and why that makes sense to me, right? So couldn't call it, right? That would be for you and everybody else to make that decision. I wouldn't waste time.
I get that, you know, you're a conspiracy theorist. I have nothing against that, you know.
I'm not anything. Did you see the intro today? By the way, I'm going to interrupt you. Every time that you speak nonsense, I'm going to interrupt you. So I'm going to ask you not to interrupt me, but please be aware. Please be aware I will be interrupting you. And if you keep talking when I interrupt you, I will throw you out of here. Okay, so that's how this is going to go, whether you like it or not. Okay, so I just played you, J.R. Church, talking about a letter from 1925 where all 3 world wars are prophesied exactly the way that they've unfolded and are unfolding. So I'm not anything. If you have an issue, your argument is with Albert Pike, head of World Freemasonry, and his 3 World War letter. Okay. I didn't make this up. I'm not theorizing. I didn't just pull this out of my ass. I'm commenting on mainstream
your asshole is huge
history. Mainstream world history. Okay. Try to keep up.
In your opinion, in your professional opinion, how likely is World War III on the brink?
It's already happening,
right
sir.
now? World War III involves every country, though. What do you mean?
Not necessarily, and the presumption is that this isn't going to lead to a majority of nations having to choose sides. It's far from over. It's just begun. Okay, so
it hasn't begun. What are you talking about?
Again,
what? Retarded or what?
Okay, I'll see you later. Are you good to go? Final words?
Are you retarded?
That's you. Final words?
Well, that's you. You're retarded. You don't even know
later. Okay, so again, the projection is astounding. He, like many others, are the retarded people who sit here, and even as a world war is brewing or already underway between a manufactured state of Israel, created a year after the CIA came into existence, right? On the back of the 3 World War letter, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Do I think World War is ever going to start? As he's literally experiencing it and as it's all beginning. But I'm retarded because every nation's not involved yet, right? This is the consciousness and the intellect of the average voting, tax-paying, code-following slave. Okay. And they always like to project it. It's everyone else who's stupid and retarded. No, sir. It's you and your lineage. Okay. That's just the bottom line. See, we've talked to you before. We know that you got 2 vax shots. I'm going to come up with a scale, right? I'm going to radically re-engineer the whole landscape of IQ tests and radically simplify it, right? Just completely simplify. And now he's going with his fake calls, right? He's going to go with his AI fake calls because it's the same thing every day with these folks. They are, in fact, inhabited by their daddy. Right? That same creature that Albert Pike talks about, the Lucifer, the god of this world and the false light, the deceiver, that's who runs their world. Right? So that's perfectly fine. If he starts spamming calls, I will just shut the phone line down, and then you will have to access the interaction through the panel. We've done this before, okay? You have a very limited power. Okay, he's calling again. So we'll just go ahead and shut the phone line down. Thank you for being a part of the experience here. Enjoy your slavery and genocide. Okay, enjoy the slavery and genocide you're creating while blaming me and projecting onto me. There we go. What was I saying? Hello, Paul. You stay working. Great job. Good consistency. Well, not really. I'm actually averaging a broadcast once every 2 weeks at this point. I'm slightly guilty about it, but not as guilty as I probably should be. I need my rest. I need my peace. I'm in a sort of detracted state in a lot of ways after having some health challenges and issues, hitting some roadblocks, looking for land, watching everything that I've predicted based on my studies and intuition coming true more and more. I've just kind of taken a step back from life in general in a lot of ways. Right. So it's probably a long time coming after 7 days a week, close to 1,000 days straight. I don't think we ever hit the 1,000 days straight as I've claimed in the past. I think it was about 9 to 950 days straight. So yeah, it's only a matter of time if you live like that and you cover these issues and you're knee deep in it, that you got to take a step back. Mimi's down there. Good to see you, Mimi. Okay. I don't remember where I was. That's partially the aim of a lot of these folks who come here to distract and detract and demean and devalue and try to get me out of alignment. Every president since Clinton till Joe Biden has been against Iran having a nuclear weapon. They have one and been chanting death to America. Simon, please call in. Well, you can't call in now because I took down the phone line, but please hit the link. The link is pinned up there. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in chat. I got to hear from you how you're just going to parrot exactly what the TV and your rulers told you, because it's fascinating to me and it's entertaining to the rest of us. Iran's been chanting death to America, and every president since Clinton till Joe Biden has been against Iran having a nuclear weapon. Well, I got one better for you, Simon. I'm going to see your president since Biden, and I'm going to raise you all presidents except Martin Van Buren are actually related to one king of England. Yeah, we've gone over that as well, and that's official. And how do we find that out? We found that out because a fucking 12-year-old girl did a science project, a school project, where she traced the mother and father's lineage and concluded that all U.S. presidents except for one are blood related to one English king. what are the odds of that, huh? And they say, well, Paulie boy, if you trace both sides of the lineage, everybody's related to everybody. Maybe, right? I'm just asking questions here. I'm just wondering, are we all related back to one king? Or is it maybe a certain group of folks? Is it possible that government is in fact a family business and a family affair? So again, Simon, you think that you're, as the young kids say nowadays, not the flex you think it is. You think that you're logical and skeptical and use common sense, but you're adult. Okay. Netanyahu's been beating that drum for over 33 years. And of course, that number is significant. We have the compilation. We've gone over it here. The 33-year compilation of Netanyahu saying any minute now Iran's going to attack us and the whole world. They're on the verge of getting a nuclear weapon. Okay. You've been duped. You've been deceived. You've been hoaxed. And furthermore, quite frankly, who are you or anybody else to say what another supposed sovereign nation can do and not do? Who are you to make the determination that Iran, as a supposed nation or sovereign nation, can't have what you and others have when you folks, United States Corporation and other corporations, are at war every 5 years around the world? Your whole existence has been colored by this experience of you starting and creating more wars while claiming to be the supposed corporation / nation of peace. Iran hasn't had a major conflict since the 1700s, I believe. Who the fuck are you and every other pathetic voting, tax-paying, bootlicking, Epstein Islander voting slave to tell anyone else on this world what they're going to have and not have? You not only have some nerve, you have some ability to completely be ignorant and arrogant, just like your masters, right? Like daddies, like sons and daughters. That's the bottom line here, okay? You take after your ignorant, arrogant, power-hungry, willing to do anything with anybody, wannabe masters here, who either are avatared and in service to principalities and high places or have been used and deceived by them. One way or the other. Either they called the spirit in to be used for reward in this world, or they unknowingly gave themselves over and are being used and really think they're doing a great job. You are another one of them, okay? See, the people get, on the whole, the government they deserve. So you're all inhabited, you're all avatared by the spirit of the deceiver. You're all bought into the lie and the deception. You are in socialism, fascism, and Marxism by definition. We've gone over all those terms and definitions and how they apply. You literally have no more private property or freedom to travel. Your children are literally registered to the state and are being taken at record numbers at this point for not following code. You're literally in complete fascism, collectivism, and statism. And your biggest worry is Iran, their weapons, and the fact that they're chanting death to America according to you. Okay. Do I need to, by the way, because you folks, you got problems with nuance and context. Do I need to pull up the video of the Iranian leadership clarifying for all you dolts and dunces that he didn't say death to America? He said death to America's supposed leadership. See? I won't second that. I won't ever get on here and say death to public officials. Furthermore, it doesn't concern me because I'm not a member of United States Corporation as defined in U.S. code. I'm not a part of that business or that business endeavor. I don't vote for those folks, and I'm not subject to their jurisdiction. So if they caused a whole bunch of problems and made enemies with the sort of leaders of a supposed sovereign nation state and or another corporation, that's their issue and their problem. Okay? So again, just layers and layers of deception, duping, delusion, hypocrisy, and just an inability to step back from your own mind and what you've been told to evaluate and critically think. Okay? So they've been beating this drum for over 33 years. They also, by the way, Simon and others, because you can't get your story straight, and this is essentially what I do, you know, among a few other things. I was going to say for a livelihood or as a livelihood, but nothing's guaranteed in that sense. So as a hobby, I guess, as a semi-professional, non-professional hobby. So your daddy, Donald Trump, just last year claimed that they annihilated all of Iran's nuclear facilities and the products contained therein. Was he lying then, or are they lying now? Because if just a year ago they blew everything up and destroyed the nuclear armaments, well, then how could Iran have nuclear armaments again and be threatening death to all of America? Okay. No, this is very simple. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that a lot of these nations will pull up the chart for you, chart non-chart. It's Homer Simpson. Homer Simpson, because you folks need something you can relate to, like cartoons and shit like that. You know, because this is the intellect of the grown American nowadays. Needs like South Park cartoons and Simpsons cartoons to even fucking cognize reality. So in 2000, there were 9 countries without a Rothschild-owned central bank. Iran, Iraq, Cuba, Syria, North Korea, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Sudan, Libya. And you may remember Gaddafi minting his old gold currency, the dinar, breaking away from centralized bankers and systems, attempting to create generational wealth and sustainability economically for his people. But some folks somewhere don't like that, it would seem, okay? So this isn't about Iran's nuclear weapons. It's never about what they tell you it's about. It's not about cheaper gas and all the rest of this crap. It's about establishing new world, one world order economically first and foremost, because we're going into a digitized technocratic era where everyone has to be tokenized, tracked, and traced, and a part of this system. And those who are not will either physically be left in the dust or economically, technologically be left in the dust if they're even allowed to exist, according to your daddy and masters, Klaus Schwab and others, who we could pull up the clip. What clip, you ask? Well, one of many. The clip of Klaus Schwab at the new political global leaders meeting talking to or about Macron, Putin, and so many other world leaders. And what does Klaus say in that now infamous clip? That he was part of a project for New American Century and new global leaders, and that in his group, now imagine this coincidence, you'll get a load of this, in his little group of, I forget how many, less than 50, that the majority of now world leaders for these supposed sovereign nation states were all part of his group, right? Putin, Macron, I believe the clown from China. You know what? John is in the back. We'll bring in John. Remind me if I forget. We'll go back to the clip. There's so many things we could go to here for Simon and others directly from the horse's mouth to just kind of disprove all the nonsense that their propagandists have uploaded them with, right? Because they keep watching fake news on the left and the right. They keep watching a bunch of statist fascist clowns on YouTube who are poised to be the nouveau media, right? The kind of neo-conservatard media. You know who they are. You can see how they are, who they are, how they operate, right? And they continue to listen to these people. People have zero credibility, less than zero understanding, because they're completely deceived, dispensing the understanding to everybody else about how this is all working, why it's happening, and where it's going to go, and just really doubling down on the fact that we need it now more than ever, okay? It's literally, I've been covering these issues on social media for decades at this point, largely unnoticed for a good portion of that, right? And I didn't do much other than slave book and various things. We're now at a point where it's fucking more obvious than ever. I don't know what it's going to take for you people to actually get a clue. I start to wonder if spiritually you're ever meant to get a clue here, right? If there's just no point, right? It's just one big waste of time, energy, attention for me and you, right? You put makeup and a silk hat on a pig. It doesn't beautify the pig. It just annoys the pig and it wastes your makeup and hat, right? So, yeah, little bit of a different take off pearls before swine idea. So it just may be that you folks are in fact deceived and inhabited, and you don't want anything different, and you're not going to seek the truth. And no matter how much I lay out here, you'll never accept it, right? Or even look into it. And you are in fact going to go quietly into the night, genocide, slavery, Holocaust once again. And I know, I get it. There are a lot of these neoconservatard digital media folks on YouTube say the Holocaust never happened, and if it did, it wasn't what we thought it was. They were actually the good guys, and they were purging the Jews. Because you see now what's going on in our nation. The Jews are running it all. Another deception. Just deception within delusion within illusion. It's amazing. Fascinating. And they never ask the right questions. They never go, man, Paulie Boy's original channel is shadow banned, and so many others are not pushed. Why is my algorithm all of a sudden full of anti-Jewish rhetoric? Why? How? Why? If they're running everything, why is your algorithm full of this crap now? Because they want it to be. Because they want you to repeat it. Because they want you to appear anti-Semitic. Because they want there to be anti-culturalistic sentiment. So they can do fascism and nationalism again. And they can do another Holocaust. And they can interrogate artists and filmmakers and everybody else and perform genetic medical experiments and maybe even kill a few or a few 10,000s of folks who are not cooperating and complying. And then sell a whole story to you later how it wasn't what you thought it was, and it wasn't 6 million, it was only 6,000 or 60,000. And who really cares? Because Hitler was a cool, great guy, funded by Ford Motor Company, funded by the Bushes, funded by all the usual suspects, scurried out of Germany, false suicide story, later found by a journalist in Central South America, where still to this day there's evidence of whole German villages. Okay. And then later, as we know, Department of Homeland Security, black projects, and other supposedly German monopolized endeavors made their way to every other nation, including America, right? You may remember that we created at some point or renamed Department of Homeland Security. Where do you think that started? All the abortion, giving way here and being pushed. Where do you think that started? Eugenicism. We can go all the way down the list, right? So we never, as Americans, won World War II. Okay, your masters who supposedly sent you to fight it duped you and deceived you again, pretended that the guy killed himself, who they used as a front for thousands of folks in that regime to push a plan of world domination and eugenics. When it wasn't going to be able to be carried out, they duped you again. Not only duped you with the false flag wars with Marinus Vanderloo in Poland and the campaign, duped you on the supposed solution. And then just weirdly enough, within 50 to 100 years, snafu snaps, stop flashing me in the back, go fuck yourself. If you keep doing it, I'm going to ban you from here. Pain in the ass. Every fucking time that I come to do a broadcast, I got to be worried about these people in my back or in my area flashing me and harassing me and needing my attention. Go find something to do. John, your thoughts? Right? Okay, John, I'm not going to carry this out. I can't hear you. I'm just going to let you do like you.
You were on a bit of a rant there, so I was just letting you go, and I wasn't really thinking about that much. But how's my part-time lover today, man?
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
You already showing up twice a month, man? Come on, man. We're supposed to get together more than that.
Listen, I mean, do you blame me? I got this kid who claims that I'm being funded by the state of Israel and the Illuminati, who sends me fake spam calls, and I got snafu flashing me in the back.
Well, I figured
I need that.
You haven't been around that much as you were planning with Trump for his war strategy here. So they probably needed you for those couple of weeks. It's going well, huh?
Yeah. That's what it is. I'm very busy behind the scenes.
Supporting your uncle.
Absolutely. So what does that mean? Supporting my uncle? I was going to go along with that, but I don't know.
I just said
you don't even know what you're saying. John, please. Somebody get John a vaccine or some fluoxetine. I think that's Paxil, something.
These stories I'm hearing about the hits the U.S. and Israel are taking, is it true or is this just propaganda coming out? Because from my understanding,
who knows, John? Who knows what's going on at this point? None of us are there.
Exactly.
We're going to repeat this crap like it's actually happening.
Yeah,
again,
right.
The closest you're going to get me to repeat what others have said or are doing as actually happening is what seems to make sense to me the longer I live, which is New World Order, global government. I don't need to repeat somebody's experience because I was there for 2020 when everyone locked down and took 14 shots, right? Never forget, hashtag never forget. Pepperidge Farm remembers. A lot of you have forgotten. You're back to normal. I'm a very traumatized being with trust issues. I'll probably never completely get over my experience of 2020 through 2024, right? It was literally everything that I had been ranting about to everyone who called me crazy that I was concerned about just showing up all at once and then being pushed as normal and for our own good, right? So, yeah, I don't need to go to articles and news stations or anything else to see what that reality is, what's behind it, what the cause is, and what the effect is. Well, and I know that it didn't just start at 2020, and I know it's not going away, okay?
No, it's not.
So, you know, I mean, like, let's just kind of think, people, what are the odds that a bunch of rich people who want power were given a whole bunch more money and power, and you guys did nothing about it? You think they're just going to go away and say, well, we did some money and power games and it went off without a hitch and we really didn't get punished for it at all and nobody stopped complying, really, on the whole. Very few, if anyone, stopped cooperating and complying. So why would they go away? Again, I don't even like this or want it to happen. And the pimp in me goes, no, Bill Gates and Donnie and all the rest of you, you got to double and triple down now. The hoes are open. They're bent over. They want to fuck for daddy and give him money as well to do it. You gotta pimp on them. That's part of the rules. When you meet a hoe, you pimp on them. Now, I wouldn't do it because I don't want the bad karma, right? But I can totally see it from the criminally minded perspective that lives within me, I guess you could say. Darker aspect of self. So, yeah, I don't agree with it. I don't promote it. I don't support it. I wouldn't want to be a part of it. And I wouldn't want to be subjected to it. But it makes perfect sense why it's happening. And it makes total sense to me that it's not only not going to go away, it's going to show itself more and more till you make the decision where you stand. And until you make that decision, you've made that decision, right? Because again, if you cooperate, if you comply, if you stay silent and you're not outspoken and you don't question this and challenge it, well, then you're complicit with it. You like it. You love it. You want it. And you're going to pay for it. So that's where we're at, John. You know, hold on a second, John. We have breaking news. Hold on. I'm getting a word here from my correspondent in my ear, satellite upbringing. Okay, we have breaking news, Iranian regime change, and apparently our anchors are noticing some anomalies.
Breaking news, Trumpenstein has decided to finish off the Sand People.
Oh, wow. Probably has absolutely nothing to do with the Epstein files.
Right, like I'm sending my son off to Iran tonight.
Let's see if we can find your son. Timmy, you're going to war. Pack your bags. Israel needs your help. Haven't you seen Europa, The Last Battle? I'm not dying for the synagogue of Satan. That's actually based.
Good call, Timmy. So all of a sudden, people just forgot about them burning the satanic ball statue. But let's see what it looked like in Iran the morning of February 28th.
Now, here it is, just some peaceful bombs. No word on whether Trumpenstein got the Ayatollah, but he did end up bombing a bunch of children, as Jeffrey Epstein would say. Whoops. But let's hear what the normies are saying about this whole thing.
Do you support Project Epstein Fury?
Of course. Every night I pray that my kids will fight for the Jews. But leave me alone. I've got bread and circuses to get to.
Hey, man, are you glad your taxes are being sent overseas?
Dude, my wife just downloaded Hinge last night and $7 for gas. Literally wish I was chosen at this point.
Hey, how do you feel about sending our troops off to war again?
Oh, gosh, not another damn lefty. Bro, they are 1 week away from a nuke.
Wow, scary.
Quick question. Do you support the Iran war?
Bro, they're going after every country that doesn't have a Rothschild banking system. And no, I'm not vaxxed.
I think I'm in love.
Thanks, Tom. You should definitely grab her number.
But this just in, a U.S. airstrike has destroyed a school in southern Iran. Ching Chong joins us live from the tragedy.
We're here outside the school where devastation has arisen.
How could anyone do this to innocent people?
Well, they do eat foreskins.
We got 2 Palestinian foreskins and 3 Christian white ones.
Yes, chef.
Idiot.
They want the jerky on top of the pizza. Make it again.
So how are your four skins today?
The Chinese ones were a bit sour, but the white ones were divine.
Very insightful.
Yeah.
Ching Chong, back to you.
With over 100 innocent girls now obliterated. Vax normies are saying it's chill because they have Persian friends. Tom, go ahead.
Do you hear about the school bombing?
What about the women who are forced to wear burqas? Are you antiseptic or something? You should be celebrating.
Why?
Because I know Iranians, unlike you.
Absolutely retarded. And as these Iranians uncover more and more infants in the rubble, Israeli news is saying they did this to themselves.
You're saying Israel didn't do it? Are you kidding me? And of course not. It was America, I swear. Just ask them. We're always the victims and never the bad guys.
They're saying they didn't do it. Are you going to take responsibility?
Look, we've been very clear about this. They did it to themselves because they're terrorists and stuff. We're actually just saving them from themselves.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hegseth? It was Iran who did that?
Certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
I literally can't fathom the amount of mRNA flowing through someone's body to actually swallow this Epstein-level propaganda. But let's hear what Trumpstein, the president of no wars, has to say to the American Goyim.
The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
So in other words, he had two choices. Let the Steinberg files get out or sacrifice Goyim to protect the pedos.
Well, who cares about Epstein victims? The Dow is nearly 50,000. Yeah.
Let's hear what Anna Kasparian has to say.
Our soldiers are going to be in Israel, right now as we speak, in order to defend the Israelis. Do the Israelis pay for our military? Are they the ones who are shelling out $1 trillion a year for our military? No, they're not. We pay for our military. Why are our soldiers based in Israel? Why do we have F-22 Raptors in Israel in order to protect Israel?
Hopefully this doesn't take 20 years like the last one.
Well, I'm not dying for Israel. Straight facts.
Right? Like, didn't you silly goy cattle learn from the Iraq War?
What should we do?
Let's ask Max Egan.
That guy's based.
Yeah, what about the service members that are actively deployed now?
Go home. Say no. Protect your families. What, are you going to go and fight a war for these people who we've just established torture, rape, and eat children? This is who you're going to fight.
Shut it down, Max. Your sons and daughters will die for Israel, whether you like it or not. Suck on this, Stu Peters. Back to the frickin' Goyslop, or you'll end up like Jackie.
Oh, gosh, the victim's cranky again.
I actually need a raise, so let's just read the headline.
Ugh, fine. February 28th strikes hit Tehran, Isfahan, and other parts of Iran, resulting in the death of their leader, Ali Khamenei.
Yay, this is so good for democracy.
Dude, do you really want Jewish supremacy?
Yeah, they just like jerky and pizza, but it's all a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Ugh, you are so gay, bro.
Sack the up. We're about to lose this country if you don't grow a pair. We outnumber them 10,000 to 1. Their Iron Dome is getting obliterated. Check this out. Boom, baby. Look at that shit. They're overwhelming the shit out of that dome.
Dang, they're getting hit hard. I mean, good for Iran, but isn't this going to start World War III?
Yeah, pretty sure this is why they had to get rid of Charlie. Listen to what he said about this.
My whole life, I've been told that Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a bomb. Iran is getting a nuclear bomb. And yet here in 2025, they do not have a nuclear bomb. Same people that told us that Iraq was a big threat, the same people that told us the Taliban was a big threat. The evidence shows that every single one of these people that is pushing for a conflict with Iran has been one of the greatest catastrophes in American foreign policy ever. I mean, India has nuclear weapons, Pakistan has nuclear weapons, but lots of things are bad that we shouldn't risk destroying America to stop. And for me, this is a hard and fast red line.
Gosh, I miss Charlie, man.
Same.
But let's see Tel Aviv getting striked.
They're all just hiding in bunkers, though.
I don't care. Bring back Palestine, baby. Back to you, John. This is the spiritual battle, folks. And God wins in the end. So chin up, soldiers. Boom. I mean, oh no, our greatest ally is getting treated like the sand people. That's so sad. Oh no, the Khazarians, Chosenites, are getting a taste of their own medicine.
Oh, what a tragedy.
We better stop noticing, right, Shapiro-Stein?
Just because the Torah says we're not supposed to mass migrate to Israel and we're not actual Jews doesn't mean we're not perpetual victims and the sand people need to leave.
Thank you, Shapiro-Stein. We need to come together and fulfill revelation. The Goyim are starting to notice, and we must usher in the digital beast system.
Wait, didn't the Bible say that the Messiah would come before the destruction of the Second Temple?
Yep.
And then it happened in 70 AD, right after
You got it.
So doesn't that mean these people are fulfilling Revelation?
That's it. Their so-called Messiah is actually just the Antichrist.
Stop reading the frickin' Bible. We created Christian Zionism so you normies would keep calling us chosen. Daisy, distract the Goyim with your lust.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. There's more to the video, but of course I gotta jump in here precisely for what I laid out earlier. The anti-Jewish sentiment is now overwhelming the conservatard arena, and folks are now caught up in a delusion within an illusion, within a deception. Again, Albert Pike, let's refocus. Let's refocus, brothers and sisters. We have Lou Bastone here as well.
Lou.
Let's refocus on the 3 World Wars letter from a Mason, head of World Freemasonry, who says that Lucifer is running the world. That has nothing to do with Judaism. If you make it about Judaism, you play into that tribalistic divide and conquer plan, right? So we got to watch that. Notice how Lewis and others, I'm going to get to in a second. Notice how just right around every corner is a potential deception where you think you're onto it. You think you know what's happening. There's a lot of evidence to it. If you follow that road the way they want you to follow it, you end up somewhere you didn't realize you were going to be, in something you didn't realize you were creating or going to be a part of, right? So again, this is the dangers of the neoconservatard mass media on YouTube, who is taking the place of the old world order, right? We're seeing a new world order come in, 2 sides. Once again, there's always dual jurisdiction being replacing the old world order. Yeah, well, it is. We've already crossed the threshold of what new world order and new normal. Remember that phrase they all used?
2020 proved that, dude.
Yeah, new world order and new normal. We're already here, right? And in new world order and new normal, all of the conservatards sign on to Nazism because Hitler was actually a hero and a good guy, and he was purging the world of all the bad, ugly Jews who were taking over everything with central banking systems and playing nations off against each other. Oh, wait, that's the Jesuits and the fake Christians and the Masons, and should I go on? Okay. Turns out it's all of them. Turns out it's all of them, inhabited by the same spirit, being played off against each other to an end that none of them is aware of completely, right? That is what the deceiver does, and it does a great job at it. Lou, what do you got for us? Questions, comments, concerns?
Can I just bring up a point real quick before Lou comes in? Sorry, Lou. You know, that if that initial bombing of that school of girls actually happened, somebody brought up a good point that it could be looked at as a virgin sacrifice. I thought if that happened, I thought that was a pretty cool point when I heard it.
That's fake news. Everybody knows. Everybody knows, John, that Iran is the only side that harms women and children.
Yeah, right. All you gotta do is look at our
John, it shouldn't even have to be said. Okay, shouldn't have to say it, but there's a lot of not so nice people out there, like you. Very nasty people.
Can I give you a little? Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
Yes, Louis. Go ahead.
You know, let me give you a little something to think about. Right? They always tell you, they have to tell you to remove the karma or the sin from their shoulders. They have to tell you what they're going to do, so that they can do it and have no retribution, you know. And so if you think about it, Trump, when he said, well, Iran, you know, they did it to themselves, he may have actually been telling the truth. And I'll tell you why I say this. Most of Netanyahu's greatest supporters are centered in Jerusalem. And the majority of Netanyahu's greatest adversaries are centered in Tel Aviv. And there are millions and millions and millions of Jews that are against this genocide. Where does Iran hit and is currently pummeling? Not Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. You follow what I'm saying? Well, they're bombing.
Really. Can you just boil it down?
They're bombing the center of Netanyahu's greatest detractors. They're in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is the more liberal, more open, more against war. The people that don't follow, that don't vote for Netanyahu. Jerusalem is his supporting group. Most of the people support this war, want this war, kill all the Palestinians. They're not bombing Jerusalem. They're bombing Tel Aviv. Am I not saying it clear enough?
No, I hear what you're saying. I just don't know how you know this to be factual.
Because that's what's happening.
Yeah, I know, but how do you know all
the images?
How do you know all his detractors?
Well, okay, I use words like all and okay, obviously not all.
There could be other things there that we're unaware of, you know.
See, for me, it's always the bait and switch. The people that are doing this have been the same people since the beginning of time. There's always been wolves. There's always been sheep, and wolves are going to eat sheep.
I agree.
Right? Until the sheep realize, okay, wait a minute, let's not go over there where the wolves are. Let's do our own thing, right? And so it's always the bait and switch. Just let's Mustache Man. Mustache Man played his role perfectly. That's why near the end of his term, when he was doing all kinds of things that looked like he was sabotaging the whole thing, he had so many attempts on his life from his inner circle because they realized this guy's not fighting for Germany. This guy's fighting for the destruction of Germany and the ruination of all of Europe, which he did perfectly. Right? And then went off to South America, you know, to have pizza.
Well, I'm not denying that at any one time it is absolutely possible, because again, I haven't made a determination like a lot of the Christards that there's nothing we can do different here. I don't buy into that this has to happen because it's prophesied, it's foretold, it has to happen no matter what, and we're all either going to be part of it or witnesses to it. I don't buy into that worldview. That may be true. I leave it open that it may be true. I believe we can, if we wish to, alter the timeline of this simulation and what has been laid out to happen, right? So
dude, what if it's all programmed in already? I mean, if you're playing Pac-Man, you can't turn it into Space Invaders.
It's a plan, John. Don't kid yourself.
Mean, it's
definitely a plan. Albert Pike said it nice and clearly. Albert Pike, you could say, was a philosopher or a cultist or whatever. I say he was part of an architectural society.
Right. If we're going to do that analogy, then sure. Levels 1 through 20 are programmed in. They look the same every time you get to them. They got the same characters and they make the same moves, but you don't. Right? And that's how you beat the game in Pac-Man. The game is still the same. The names are all the same. The formalities and the function is all the same. What's different is user interface. Right?
True, but I'm just saying you can't turn it into a different game.
No, but we could essentially beat the game, right? I'm not one of these people who believes that this has to be biblical prophecy that's fulfilled. It more than likely will be based on the current state of affairs. And again, it's like taking a pulse. Every time they do a PSYOP, I take a pulse and I go, it's about 80% or more who buy into this crap. You know, so that just, you know, ensures that it's going to continue on, right? It's what the traffic will bear, like most things, right? So
and you had that comment up there earlier about Iran having a nuke. Dude, no one has a nuke.
That's quite possible, John. That's quite possible.
It's not.
We don't know that.
Actual. No one
knows
has
that. You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that.
I know that. I mean, for myself,
like there's other platforms.
I have zero doubt about it. Zero.
Sure. At one point, if you would have said, hey, we have satellite phones that can track you, that you keep in your pocket, that you can talk to anybody on the world at any time and order products to your door, you'd have told me, not only do we not have that, it's not possible to have that. And here we are. Everyone's got them.
No matter what I
had in my lifetime.
Here's the reality that nobody wants to confront, that I've had to confront. We don't know what it is completely, including God. Pick something. Law, God, court, religion, banking. We don't know what it is completely. We just have the signs of how it works that we can piece together at certain times to create a hypothesis of what may be true, right? I have no reason to believe, with weapon systems on every corner and in the sky at this point, that someone somewhere or a group of someone somewhere doesn't have anything and everything. I don't know that. And I don't think you or anyone else does either. And I think you do truthing a great disservice. And I'm not going to name names, but there's someone who I've been on their platform recently, and it's not personal, but you do a great disservice to yourself and the truth when you make absolute claims that you can't prove. We literally, this could be right now that we're in a light-based electronic simulation where there are the appearances of physicality, and this place is run by reptilian aliens who are interdimensional off-world. And they may have laser beams and mind-reading technology. Anything and everything could potentially exist. To claim that nukes don't exist, and we know they don't, and say that absolutely, I think is foolish.
It doesn't even matter, John. To be honest, John, it doesn't even matter whether nukes exist or don't exist. There are bombs that can act like
they have the weaponry.
like,
I'm not arguing
they
that.
have weaponry that will act the same as what they say a nuke is.
Sure.
So there's enough explosives in these massive bombs that even if they blow it, they say it's a nuke. It's just TNT, but it's like 5,000
pounds of TNT, dude. 100,000 pounds.
Right. So it doesn't matter if they're real or not. The result is the same, right?
Dude, the videos of the nuclear bombs going off in the buildings and the trees being blown over, it's the same bullshit as them landing on the moon. The camera, a nuclear weapon went off, everything's being blown away, but the camera doesn't even shake.
So this is the bottom line. If history doesn't repeat itself, it definitely rhymes. And if it rhymes, then it's all on time. We're going to 2030 with a greater depression by 2029, which all seems to be in the cards based on inflation and purchasing power. After that engineered economic hitman event will be the reconglomeration, recertification, and resurgence of a new economic and political system, right? So this is a time now to understand what's coming, like the scripture writes, the meek shall inherit the earth, and start to prepare yourself potentially. If it doesn't happen, you'll still be in a great position. Debt-free, own your land and your property as much as possible, diversify your portfolio, own land, own crypto, own gold and silver, own things that could potentially hedge your bets and create value over time, and start to prepare yourself to potentially have to get some balls on you and not cooperate and comply. Because we're going to loop this again. For those who are going to be alive to see it, we're going to loop this again, and we're going to be given an opportunity again to continue to comply and cooperate and to vote for our own enslavement and pay for it. Or say, you know what, we did without some pretty and nice things for a while. We learned to become self-sustainable again. We're kind of even learning what it's like to be prosperous, but also peaceful, right? Be happy with less instead of constantly chase more. And you know what? We don't need your benefits and privileges or your help either. And you know what? We're not going to comply or cooperate with your policy and code, right? I think that it's very well possible. And again, maybe I'm just getting caught up in the bodily identified state of beingness, where I believe that this could potentially be a new time and a new outcome. We might have looped this already 1,000 times, right? But I think it is very well possible that if we don't get a handle on ourselves and this idea now and change our perspective and the way that we act, you're going to see an extreme change in the human animal, let's say, in the experience of being human. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be
already happening, dude. I mean, people today,
yes,
especially the young people today, they're different, quite different than what I'm used to, for sure.
Maybe supernatural, right? We may be in something here that, as much as our spirit cries out for something else, who and what we are in this world may be destined for a certain eventuality, right? And that may be the most natural and appropriate path possible, right? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing a world where I'm going to accept policy and code from these people just exclusively, you know, and unquestioningly, and then on top of it, put wires in my brain and upload to the cloud and all the rest of it. I get we're already here. They've already kind of softened us up to it, you know, and even with this and the whole situation, my spirit has kind of been rejecting it as time goes on and almost calling me to move away from it. It would be just my luck, right? I finally find a position for myself in a place where what I'm saying and what I'm doing is sort of appreciated and respected. And it also brings me value in various ways, but may be part of a bigger sort of coalescing event, right? At least when it comes to the devices, right? Device, of course, of vice, literally in the word, device of vice. So
we don't need the wires in our brain. We hold it in our hand, right?
Right, I get that. And according to a lot of folks, there's nanotech already in our bodies from whatever they're spraying in the sky that is but isn't chemtrail, contrails, right? And as we know, we're gaslit. So who knows at this point? May already be too far down the line to extricate ourselves. I don't accept that idea either. I think that as long as we're alive and have a will and an ability to choose, we can always turn it around to some extent, right? I think there's
The
always
only
some
way-
level of. Go ahead.
The only way forward is back. The only way out is in. The only way.
The only way is to not play the game.
Right.
That's
exactly.
Leave the game.
That's right. That's right. Be the ones,
Yeah.
whether you survive or not, because I think it's going to get really ugly for the entire world.
Oh, God, I hope
whether it does or not. Listen, it could be, it could not be. I don't know. It's just speculation. Can't know anything really. But if it does, be the ones that, if you survive, have the ability to rebuild, right? Be the builders. Be the co-creative building people, the people that create things that build back better.
Yeah, I mean, there's more than likely, although again, with this technocratic push, we've reached a new era technologically, according to these folks, and according to their brightest and best minds. By 2050, the human race will be a completely digitized experience, without exception, right? With that said, there will probably be, at least for a limited time, if they can get this done, whole groups and communities of folks who have little to no effect on them due to the economic, political, and spiritual collapse, because they've never left Eden, so to speak, right? They're self-reliant, they're self-sustainable, they have the skills and the knowledge, and they're willing to use it, right? And they're not in debts to the central banker Epstein Island crew. They own their property or have claim or title to it. And they have a history of not going quietly, right? The Native Americans some of them are an example of that kind of culture. I think the Amish are an example of that. You have certain, I guess, European, what we would call American, I guess, at one point, sort of European heritage, right? But this idea, the cowboy culture, the rancher culture, there's going to be whole communities of folks who they're going to feel it, but it's not going to be like everybody else because they've been living properly this whole time, it could be argued, right? They have their plants and their animals, they have their communities and their networks, they have their livelihood. That livelihood, that skill, that knowledge isn't going to go away, but actually be more in demand in times of economic hardship. So the folks like that will inherit the earth and they'll be doing just fine, right? Now, where it becomes a concern and an issue is the proliferation of, the drones, right? Like where I am, I'm in the middle of the desert here, pretty much out in the middle of nowhere, and they're now starting to put up notices, and we can now see them over the horizon. At nighttime, they're test flying these drones with lights on them. You can tell by how they move. And they put up signs saying, well, we're going to create an autonomous drone airports that are going to surveil all of these properties from here to here. And of course, it's under the guise of maintenance and safety and to keep all the tweakers out, right? Because everybody's looking to steal your shit. So, again, as we sit here or as we experience, I'm watching the new kingdom, so to speak, be built around me, right?
This is almost the time of the Terminator, man. It's starting to sound that way. Holy shit.
Listen, it all comes back to square one, where if we have an answer and a way out, it's going to be pretty simple. Stop cooperating and complying. Don't act from anger and aggression with these folks, because you could argue the spirit behind them wants that. It wants everybody here to get so angry and bitter, resentful, and frustrated, they start acting out and lashing out, and then they can pin you as a terrorist. Because that's going to be the new movement at some point, is you're going to have hundreds and thousands of people who, by watching this crap and not knowing what's going on and how to respond, they're going to get really reactive and they're going to start losing their minds and acting out. And then your system is going to start reporting that these are the sovereign citizen terrorists we've been warning you about. And this is why we need more regulation and safety and surveilling. So you got to somehow find a place of calm, cool collectedness, have an understanding about what's going on here. Do our best, right, to live peacefully.
How do you do that when everything around you is being destroyed?
John,
cool, dude.
Hey, John. You don't like opinions, John.
I do. I'm just offering my. How you couldn't do that if you're in a room and all your family and friends are being killed around you, you're not going to stand there and remain calm and cool.
You got to get past your conclusions.
If you get past your fucking conclusions.
Right.
It could be argued, John, that they want you to be angry and vengeful,
I
so
see
that you
that.
can,
I can see
so
that.
that you can join them. You can be them. You can relate to them. If you switch from being kind, compassionate, and forgiving, you become vengeful, then you become them.
I hear you.
Right. So again, if we were to step back from our bodies and our traditions and what we've been given and what we're used to, it makes perfect sense when you realize that this simulation is going to, as the scripture kind of speaks about it in its own way, every mouth will confess, every knee will bend, right? The question is going to be, what will you confess and what will you bend to? Right? But this is essentially a judgment time, you could argue, right? So if we're in a judgment time, then everybody's going to have to go on record over and over again to produce a result till whatever that runs this place decides you got the experience. We're going to let you out of it, right? So it's the same way as kind of looking at it like,
Sorry,
please.
it's like you've always said, the wheel, the tail eating, the snake eating its tail. It's a cyclical experience. It's gonna.
The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
That's what it is, bro. I mean, it's been here since the dawn of time, and it will probably be here forever.
As within, so without. We all already are tasked to have this experience because all of us as a body, and guess what? A lot of people identify with the body, so they think that's all that life is. We're all going to die at some point as a body, right? So it would be equivalent to asking me, how are we going to be peaceful and prosperous and enjoy any of the moments of the rest of our life with the knowledge that at some point this is all going to end? And we're going to have ultimate faith and perform a transition, right? Or a transmutation.
How do we know we're alive if we've never been dead?
Well, because I'm a god of all media. And it makes perfect sense that in any reality that is legitimate, that I would be here and be a god of all media.
I heard that.
There's no dead. There's no dead, John. There's no death.
No,
there's no life. There's only
physical
death.
Death.
Not even physical death. Your physical body may stop breathing, but it's not even going to end. It's just going to change. It will melt, it will burn, it will turn to dust, it'll turn to dirt, and the dirt will grow grass, and the deer will eat the grass, and it's just it's an endless change. Nothing ends.
It's like an ice cube, Lewis. It's like an ice cube, right? The ice cube, when you freeze it, it's solid. When you melt it, it becomes liquid. When you evaporate it, it becomes etheric, spiritual, you could argue, right? But it never actually begins or ends, right? It's always existing. It's just in a different form and state of beingness.
Hey,
and I argue, sorry, John, I argue that we, when I say we, I mean the spirit that is all the living beings, whatever they may be, human, animal, insect, what we've chosen to be here in this moment at this time. We're just not aware of it while we're captured in the flesh.
Okay, be very careful with this because this is how you get me. You guys have already done it, some of you, at certain times. This is how you get me put a target on my back and get you culted up, right? So Paul, in fact, does not know it all. Presuming Paul does know it all, he hasn't used it all. If he did, he wouldn't have almost died of obesity. So we have to be very careful about that idea and perspective because that is pride and ego, right? Nobody knows it all.
Oh God!
Nor does anybody need to know it all, right?
What do we know? Know is to know is factual. I mean, we believe a lot of things, but what do we actually know? Very, very, very little. Very little.
Right. I think that we don't need to know more than that very little, right? You know, I think that all we need to know is true enough to a certain extent. The rest is going to be shown and revealed through our experience. So, should we go to the 14 signs of fascism?
Did you get my emails?
John, please.
No, John. Nobody's interested in your fucking emails.
Because I sent it 2 weeks ago. I don't think I never got a
received them
response.
and I promptly ignored it. Okay, and I
That's
want
right.
you to know.
Well, there was
and
a real
everyone to
short
know.
video in one of them that was pretty cool about Iran's nuclear capabilities. It was like real short.
To be clear, yes, I did, because I checked my spam folder and then I promptly went into a fit of rage because
I was in your
Google and YouTube
spam?
hate me. So I can't receive emails anymore like normal people. Everyone's messages to me goes to spam, and then I have to go in there and then like scroll through 1,000 other articles of nonsense to even find where people are trying to communicate with me.
Don't you recognize the moniker?
And then I did look at it, but I forgot what was there. So refresh my memory, and I thought I did respond to you. I usually do.
Emails gave you
I did respond to you. I asked, "Is this John's from John's Take?" Okay, John. Stop playing the
When did you
victim here.
respond?
You were harassing me. I responded to your harassment.
I put my phone number in one of the emails, dude.
I don't want that. Okay.
It's my ass.
Okay. All right, I'm just kidding. Sort of. With most people, I don't know. I don't know if I want that. Maybe I need that, but I don't want that. Is what it is. With you, I'll make an exception, John. You and Lewis and anyone else who's here right now in front of me, I'll make an exception for. But predominantly, for the most part of my life, I've been an old soul, and I want to just be left alone. Okay, and it's better for everyone.
Exactly. That doesn't mean we can't help each other out.
Quite frankly, away from here, I'm boring and I'm a very nasty person.
I don't care. I don't want to know you away from here.
Right.
Just
See?
neighborly types of things. Hey, you need help with something? Sure, I'll be there. Other than that, just
John, don't go down that road, John. See, this is what I mean about people, right? I'm supposed to be a people's person, but I'm not. I have love for people, but I don't like them and what they do, more importantly, right? They do stuff like ask me if I want things or need help. And then God forbid if I say yes, I'll never hear the end of it and I won't even get the help or what they're offering. We've been over this. Okay. Lou does that too from time to time. He goes, listen, I'm here. I'm an Enslavian. If you need anything. And I go, Lou, you got like $2 million in property. What say you sell it? Because you're surrounded by Mongolians and Turks. And we know you're Sicilian and deeply racist. So there's no way you could enjoy that. Right?
Sicilians are not Italian. Stop with the Sicilian bullshit.
There he goes again. He doesn't get it. We know. Okay. We know.
I'm Calabrese. That's Sicilian.
And I go, Lou, you don't even have to give me, which, some could argue. Well, I won't get into it. All the things that I've done for Lewis, because I'm a very modest man and humble.
Listen, I'll buy you a fish.
See what I mean? Then this, you would do this to me too, John, if I let you, but I've learned my lesson. Okay. So instead of Lewis just out of the kindness of his heart be called by the Spirit, and just quite frankly out of selfish desperation and realization that we're going deeper into slavery and genocide, and
okay,
better to be around. Lou, please, this rant about you doesn't require you to be a part of it, so I'm going to let you hang in the back for a second while I talk about you. Still 3 to 4 years in, they don't understand my rhythm, how I do a broadcast. I'm going to talk about you, not to you. So instead of him getting rid of this terrible, horrible property in a freezing tundra surrounded by undocumented Turks and Mongolians, he says, oh, do you need anything? You want anything? Maybe we should be part of something. I'll get you a fish. Right. And he thinks that's funny to him about me. Right. Meanwhile, we're going deeper into slavery and genocide. And one day the lights are going to go out. He's going to be stuck there, surrounded by illegal Turks and Mongolians. And he'll be crying out for Paul Enslaved, God of all media. And I won't be there. Okay. Because he didn't do his due diligence. Lou, now limited response. What do you have to say to any of that? I'm sure that you're now feeling guilty and shameful, as you should, and rethinking your whole life. Is that true?
I'm writing a prenuptial right now.
Right. Should we get to the 14 signs of fascism? Because it's in the title, and as usual, in pure ADHD Paul Enslaved fashion, I've completely buried the lead. Instead of burying you, I buried the lead. So we're now almost 2 hours in, and I didn't even get to the second of two things.
Hey, did you guys hear it's illegal to communicate with dolphins?
And we're not going to get to it because John wants to talk about
I just
the legality of talking to dolphins.
Hold on. It's illegal to talk to them.
I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you.
Communicate with dolphins. I found Why? How
And
can that
and guess what? And guess what? You're gonna expect me to not go along with that.
No, I'm just wondering.
But I am going to go along with it. You know why, John? You know why, John? Because the dolphin is highly intelligent creature. Unlike the majority of humans, voters, taxpayers, slaves, highly intelligent creature. If we were to let these slaves loose to start talking to the dolphins about life and reality, they're going to get a wake-up call they're not even ready for, and they're going to lose their minds, okay? Bad enough they allow this broadcast to go on air. They let you talk to a gorilla here. They should have never did that to begin with. Now you want to open the door to dolphins.
I
just heard that,
John. No, these are things that, I just had to get it out because it baffles me, and I just had to, burden someone else with that so I could get rid of it.
I know. You're a horrible person, John, because I just asked 3 separate times.
The guy that was supposedly
do you want to go to the 14? This is one of the signs of fascism, by the way. It's on my list. I'll segue then if you won't let me.
I agree.
Watch how I do this. Watch and learn, John. This is actually one of the 14 signs of fascism. Complete delusion and obsession and fixation and bizarre behavior that John is exhibiting right now. It's one of our 14 signs of fascism. He's confused about why he and others are not allowed to talk to the dolphins, even after I just explained it.
Well, I never considered talking to a dolphin prior to hearing that. Now that I know it's illegal.
Well, maybe you should. Oh, wait, you can't. It's illegal, right?
No,
and it's
now
better
you want
for
to
everybody.
do it.
14 signs of fascism.
It should be illegal to talk to women, right? Like, let's make it illegal to talk to women. All you got to do is hand signs.
Lou, I want to remind you that for people like you, it already is illegal for you to talk to women, creeps and weirdos. We have policy and code about that. All interactions from Lou Bass toward women will be considered harassment in some form, I suspect. So, Lou, you're way behind. You're very old soul. You're way behind on the times, right? We already have a list for folks like you to keep order. Can we go to the 14 characteristics of fascism? Yes, we can. Okay, thanks, Paulie boy. Let's do it. The 14 characteristics of fascism. First, let me give you the intro, Lewis and John. And I'm going to drop the link too. Because why should I have only the enjoyment of Lewis and John here when the more the merrier is possible, right? So I'm gonna continue to open that door for my distinguished guests. Political scientist Dr. Lawrence Britt recently wrote an article about fascism. And by recently, I mean the spring of 2003. Okay? Studying the fascist regimes of Hitler, Mussolini, Franco, Suharto, Pinochet, Dr. Britt found they all had 14 elements in common. That's weird. All these...
they all had little penises, right?
John, this article isn't about you.
That's you, John.
Yeah. If you're going to keep making everything about you, we're going to have a struggle here. Okay? There's going to be a power struggle, and you're not going to win that, John, quite frankly. He calls these identifying characteristics of fascism. So all these leaders all have the same 14 things in common. We're going to cross-reference this list because we're going to determine if maybe we have like one or two of them maybe possibly going on. I feel like that might be maybe one or two of them possible. Okay, the 14 characteristics are as follows. Let me zoom in here. I want to get nice and zoomed in. Powerful and continuing nationalism. Fascist regimes tend to make constant use of patriotic mottos, slogans, symbols, songs, and other paraphernalia. Flags are seen everywhere, as are flag symbols on clothing and in public displays. Yeah, when you go to Target, that first shirt that you always see right in the front there for $9.99 or less is the good old American flag shirt, which isn't American. It's a flag of United States Corporation, but who needs to really know that? We're doing fascism here, people. It's about feelings, not facts, okay? 2, disdain for the recognition of human rights. Okay, we're 2 for 2 so far. And I'm going to keep count here. In case you folks are keeping count or not, I'm going to keep count. So because of fear of enemies, right, and the need for security, the people in fascist regimes are persuaded that human rights can be ignored in certain cases because of need, right? People tend to look the other way or even approve of torture, summary execution. I call it enhanced interrogation myself. Assassinations, long incarcerations of prisoners, etc. Basically slavery and genocide. Every so often, you got to look the other way when it comes to some slavery and genocide, because part of patriotism / fascism is disdain for recognition of human rights. So number 3, identification of enemies and scapegoats as a unifying cause. We're totally not doing that right now and have been for the last couple decades with terrorism in the Middle East. The people are rallied into a unifying patriotic frenzy over the need to eliminate a perceived common threat or foe. Racial, ethnic, or religious minorities, liberals, communists, socialists, terrorists, etc. We're 3 for 3, folks. Supremacy of the military. Even when there are widespread domestic problems, the military is given a disproportionate amount of government funding.
Dude, you know you're frozen?
Is that him?
I'm just you know, now you moved. Now you
was
moved.
I frozen to everyone else?
Just the camera. Just the camera. We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, but your camera, yeah, you were frozen.
Oh my God! It does
It's
never.
okay. We can hear you clearly. It doesn't matter.
Do you not want me to alert you to those type of things? I'll keep quiet.
No, that wasn't your fault, John. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for alerting me.
We could hear you, we just couldn't see you, which is nice sometimes, really.
Right. I'm not so sure I'm against that. Okay. Number 4. We're 3 for 3 so far. Supremacy of the military. Right. We went over that. Even when there are widespread domestic problems, the military is given a disproportionate amount of government funding and the domestic agenda is neglected. Right. So we're 4 for 4. We're doing everything with the military, wars around the world everywhere other than arresting Epstein Island goers. I'm not claiming that necessarily that should happen. I mean, pedophilia is inextricably linked to United States culture. It's one of the backbones of existence here. Why try to do away with it? You know, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'm guessing part of MAGA and Donald Trump's plan to make America great again is the resurgence of island trips. Basically more slavery, human trafficking, and genocide, right? Cornerstone of United States culture. So who am I to say to do away with that? So we're 4 for 4 so far because we're not arresting Epstein Island goers. We're not protecting folks at home from terrorists, foreign and domestic. We're starting central banker wars everywhere for profit and to do New World Order, right? To the tune of trillions of dollars deeper into debt. So there's nothing else, apparently, that the trillions to missiles and bunkers and all the rest could go to on the homeland, right? And if we were going to give away some money, let's just be real with ourselves and each other. We'd probably give it to Israel or Ukraine or someone else that isn't us. And by us, I mean them. I don't know what I mean. Number 5, rampant sexism. You know, kind of like Fresh and Fit and all the conservatards now only being known for fighting and arguing with women. It's like all they do nowadays. That's what the Republican Party is basically known for. Bitterness, resentment, and disdain for women because they become obsolete in the eyes of the modern day woman. They're not masculine. They're not protective. They don't uphold the law of the land. They're not typically intelligent or spiritual people. They're not inspiring or motivating. So they've been deemed obsolete and therefore largely in part involuntary celibate, right? So there's a lot of bitterness and resentment there that leads to a war between the sexes, right? And this all just amounts to, if you really want to put it this way, family show, I know, but the women have the monopoly because they have all the pussy and the men want it. The women have stopped giving it out. And if they are going to give it out, it's going to be for a paycheck because the women have decided, about 30 to 40% of them have decided that you are in fact a hoe for the state and your only value and worth is to pay for their shit. So why not just charge you for the privilege to have sex with them, right? Giving rise to the OnlyFans culture we're seeing nowadays, right? There is a sub-psychology and a psychology to spirituality.
I've never been on OnlyFans. Is that just a sex site? Is that what that is?
John,
Nice try, John.
stop asking questions.
Nice try, John, because I haven't been on there either. Okay?
I
wouldn't know anything about it. And those free subscription trials that keep getting sent to my email, I don't know why those are there, why that's happening, and I would appreciate if someone would stop it and have it removed. They keep sending me emails that I've signed up for free trials of OnlyFans. I don't know how they got my email. I don't know why they're saying I'm signing up for free trials. That is not true, John. Much like Bill Gates, my housekeeper did that. This computer sits here all day. I'm not with it all the time, all day. And there are other people around here. And I'm pretty sure my housekeeper signed me up for not only free trials of OnlyFans subscriptions, but to get notifications to my email as well. Damn you, Consuela. You were saying, John? I just want to be clear here.
I was just wondering if that's just a sex site. Is that what that is?
I don't know, because I've never been there, John.
Okay.
You'll have to, I guess, go ask a dolphin or something.
Stick with the hookers.
They might know our true history. That's why we can't communicate with them. They might know what the fuck's going on.
Number 6, controlled mass media. Sometimes media is directly controlled by the government. You don't say. But in other cases, the media is indirectly controlled by the government, by government regulation or sympathetic media spokespeople and executives. Censorship, especially in wartime, is very common. Wow, censorship, shadow banning, alternate narratives, social, cultural media manipulation. Yes, we're 6 for 6, folks, if you're not keeping score. Number 7, obsession with national security. Fear is used as a motivational tool by the government over the masses, right? So we hear this constantly, of course. Everything's for national security. Can't tell you who's in the Epstein files, fucking your children, because national security. What if Iran gets a hold of that? Like topple the whole damn system. And then where are you going to get your benefits and privileges and rights from? If government's toppled, right? I thought so. Number 8. Religion and government are intertwined. I'll do you one better. United States corporation and statism has become the religion of the supposed nation known as America. John, your noise, John. Someone's making noise. I'm muting both of you. Religion and government are intertwined. Governments and fascist nations tend to use the most common religion in the nation as a tool to manipulate public opinion. Religious rhetoric and terminology is common for government leaders, even when the major tenets of the religion are diametrically opposed to the government's policies or actions. A great example of that would be all the modern day Christards who claim that if Jesus was alive today, he would just unwaveringly submit and surrender to the Epstein Island class, follow all the statutes, policies, and codes. And if not, would be crucified again, and then we would all stand to the side of him and point at him and say, if only he would have just complied, he wouldn't have been crucified, right? So we see that with the religionists of the state, and of course their religion is statism, and all the supposed self-proclaimed Christians are in fact fascist statists and believe that their own God, son, and prophet would have went along with this, and if he was crucified, would have deserved it, because why not just cooperate and comply, right? Isn't that what all the magatards, supposedly Republican conservatives, rights and freedom based, all the free and brave folks, isn't that
what happened to Jesus? He didn't comply, so they crucified him?
Yes, it's
that's
reflective.
The story, really.
Yeah, it's reflective irony, Lou, as we know. We've been over here many times. It's just more and more reflective irony. So yes, modern day Christians have made the state their religion and would have condemned their God and their prophet in their day for not following the religion of the state and its policies and codes, and even human trafficking, as we know, trading in the souls of men, as it was put in the churches, right? So nothing's changed, right? The more we change, the more we stay the same. corporate power is protected. The industrial and business aristocracy of a fascist nation often are the ones who put the government leaders into power, creating a mutually beneficial business-government relationship and power elite. We're 9 for 9. We know that politicians get in there and they double, triple, quadruple their life savings in sometimes a year or two, because they're all doing backroom deals with corporations and lobbyists to create policy and regulation and start wars to profiteer. We know that, and we have Clausen and others on tape proving it. We're going to get to that again as well, because there were a bunch of articles written up about Clausen and his famous speech to blow stuff up and blame it on Iran so we can get to war with Iran, because that's what they're in the business of, according to him. See, I didn't say it. I'm not the conspiracy theorist. I'm just giving you folks the best clips ever and then reporting on it and commenting on it. Labor power is suppressed because the organizing power of labor is the only real threat to a fascist government. Labor unions are either eliminated entirely or are severely suppressed. I can't speak on that directly.
I can give you good stories on that directly.
Okay, John's Take, at John's Take, youtube.com, at John's Take. Thoughts on labor power being suppressed?
Not it's suppressed, owned, just like everything else. They end up owning the unions.
Yeah, I mean, what good is a union, whether it exists or not, if it's full of a bunch of status slaves who don't know what's right and wrong anyway?
And who are just there to serve themselves.
Right. Okay. Number 12, obsession with crime and punishment. Under fascist regimes, the police are given almost limitless power to enforce laws. You mean like ICE? The thousands of people are getting shot in the streets locally by policy enforcement because you damn sovereign citizens better just fucking comply already. Stop wasting first responders' time. Limitless power to enforce laws. The people are often willing to overlook police abuses and even forego civil liberties in the name of patriotism. Right. There's often a national police force with virtually unlimited power in fascist nations. You mean like ICE recently ruling for themselves, by themselves, to themselves, that they can enter anyone's home without a warrant and due process? You mean like that? And the magatard said, this is what we voted for. We voted for Papers, Please. We voted for Holocaust. We voted for centralized, militarized police with unprecedented, limitless power, as long as it's used for them damn illegals. And what are the odds it's going to begin and end with the illegals? They're coming for your goofy ass next if you let them.
You think someone could come up with a story to write a book that would end up being mimicking what we're living through?
They already did, John, many times. Lord of the Rings, 1984.
I'm talking about the specifics, getting down to the specifics of how it's done and what's done and stuff like that.
1984 is a great example. Your low IQ, according to Miles, looks like we got some slaves who filed in here. We must have hit the algorithm lightly. We tapped it lightly. Here's your link. I'm on record twice. My IQ was taken when I was 12 years old and again when I was 17 years old. I'm on record. Okay. 96th percentile. So I can verify that. That's on record. I'm actually not low IQ. I'm considered by these folks who did the analysis on me to be of superior intelligence, was a quote that I will use when they did their summary, right? And they did the full test on me, right? Everything. Asked me some crazy stuff that we've gone over here at one point. A few points, I think we've covered it. So I'm guessing that's you, Miles, and that's okay, right? You're projecting onto me because that's really you, inferiority complex masquerading as superiority complex. If you need a place to hang out and feel safe and tell yourself that you're intelligent, this may not be the place, but I'm willing to let it be, right? It's going to be up to you, right? If you feel that here, then I'll allow it. I would prefer that you come up and or call in. The number is pinned 602-730-0122. Call in or come on the panel and feel free to let me know all about it, right? Where did I get it wrong? Why do you contend that I am of such low IQ intelligence? Right? What am I missing? What do you know that I don't know? that's what makes this thing what it is at times.
That's this world,
So-
dude. That's this world.
Right.
You're
Okay, so
still
we're 12
frozen.
for
You know that, right?
what's that, John?
I said you're still frozen. You know that, right?
No, I don't know that. Are you guys having that
Now,
same
why is
experience?
he moving now? As soon as I told you you're frozen, you started moving again. How's that possible?
Is it possible that I just look frozen to you?
No,
where
no,
you're
because
at?
you can look in the chat. Everybody was saying you're frozen again. You're frozen again. So
It's when he turns on the computer to read whatever he's reading.
yeah, that's as soon as you start reading is when you freeze. Exactly.
As soon as he turns that on to look at his screen, he goes frozen. He shuts it off to talk, and then he's
exactly
free again.
Yep. See, you
Okay.
scratch your nose. See, I saw that.
Right. So I don't know.
I mean, it's not in a bad position or an ugly or gross photo or anything like that. It's fine, but
I understand that, but I would prefer that didn't happen, of course. Okay, so you're telling me now when I do this, it happens?
now you're frozen again. Yep.
Okay. So, oh man,
Sorry, I didn't mean to bug you with that.
I mean, again, it's something that I'm going to have to, if not try to correct now, look into at a later time. All right, yeah, I'm going over potential settings here. I'm not seeing anything that would correspond with that.
What do? Click to a different screen when you're reading that, and that's what.
Yeah.
Cuts you up? Okay.
Go to my other tab. Wondering if it's a memory saving option. Did it happen again?
It looks like it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I can't do it now because I'm just gonna be sitting here in silence trying to work it out. So after this broadcast, I may come back on and we may do a test period. And if you want to stay for that and help me out with that, we can just sit in silence and try to correct that issue for future.
Oh, you're getting another comment on like your low IQ again.
I could imagine that, John. Thank you for pointing that out.
Same guy or girl.
Right. Put in active. Okay, let me see now. Are we still doing that? Is it still happening?
You're frozen right now. Yep.
Okay.
Not now.
Yeah, we'll have to work on it later. Oh man. Tech support says the camera is linked to that browser window.
That's possible.
And how does that happen, Tribe? A little bit of on the fly tech support here. Nothing like doing some tech support during a live broadcast. Any information about that, Tribe, will greatly be appreciated if you want to hop up here at some point. Yeah, because I'm not seeing any options for that. The active window gets the camera.
Come on, bro, get your shit together.
All right. Thank you, Lewis. So we're there we go. Now it's fixed. We're 13. We're 12 for 12. Let's finish it up here. We got two more. Rampant cronyism and corruption. Fascist regimes almost always are governed by groups of friends and associates who appoint each other to government positions and use governmental power and authority to protect their friends from accountability. It is not uncommon in fascist regimes for national resources and even treasures to be appropriated or even outright stolen by government leaders. So, yeah, I'm guessing that we have a lot of that going on, potentially we don't have to guess because we know these people put their families and their husbands and their wives in positions of power. We've
Can
seen
that
them over and over
12-year-old
again.
girl prove that?
Right.
Play George Carlin. It's a big club, and you're not in it.
Fraudulent elections. Sometimes elections in fascist nations are a complete sham. Other times, elections are manipulated by smear campaigns against or even assassination of opposition candidates. Use of legislation to control voting numbers or political district boundaries, and manipulation of the media. Fascist nations also typically use their judiciaries to manipulate or control elections. We've definitely seen evidence of that. So we're 14 for 14 on the list of what makes a fascist regime. We also have a Ronin sojourner here. So I'm going to screen him quickly.
And they display the fascists all over the place. So, they're not hiding it.
Ronan, can you hear me?
Indeed.
What do you got for me? Questions, comments, concerns?
What up, bro? It's me.
Oh, okay. Boshane.
Ronan is now.
Right,
Holy motherfuckers. No one killed
Ronan,
you yet.
Ronan Boshane is
That's cool.
Also known as Hong Kong Boshane at one point.
You're still alive?
Shanghai. Yeah,
Right.
they tried a couple times. They can't get me. It's all right there.
All right, so what do you got for us? Any questions, comments, concerns, presentments? No?
Who, me?
Yep, he said it all right there. He said it all.
Oh, no, I was just waiting to get through this 14th amendment, the 14th.
We're done. We just got through it. We're 14 for 14. United States Corporation is not we, but United States Corporation.
Yeah. No, that's like from what, 2003? I think that got published or something. 20 years.
Correct.
Yeah, but hasn't we can't blame just Donnie here. That's been pretty much the U.S. since, well, dare I say, 1776.
Did you guys see the Epstein response letter? I believe it was to one of the Rothschilds. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. But he responds to somebody about Trump, and he says, Epstein, this is Epstein saying, I've seen a lot of evil men, but of all of them, Trump's the worst.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, bro. I just saw that. Somebody found a letter, a response email. I think it was to a Rothschild, but I could be wrong on that. Where he says, yeah, I've seen a lot of evil men, but Trump's one of the worst, or is the worst, or something like that.
All right, go ahead and talk amongst yourselves if you wish. If that's something that you want to do, I'm going to throw the link again.
I thought somebody came up here called your. Did they mean you are, or is that your low IQ? Is this a product of the American education system here?
Oh yeah, well I usually mention that. You might have been right. I didn't even catch that or mention it this time, but there's a good chance the folks calling people low IQ don't know the difference between your and your, as in you are. Yeah.
I mean, if you
Y-O-U-R-E, right?
If you want to shorten it, I mean, would YERs like just that's kind of like the way we propound, you are like your YER would be more acceptable, I gather.
Right. The man points out I'm low IQ because I can't get my setup right. My setup was fine until my mic failed and I had to reformat my computer and factory reset it. And now the mic is working good. This is my first broadcast back with the new setup. So it would make sense that we have a updated curve here. We have some updates to make.
Right. You're just supposed to get a new tech setup and it just magically falls into place because that's how the world works. Right. And since somehow you're low IQ because magic didn't work for you. All right.
What about my low IQ?
I don't know what yours is. Don't particularly care. Or whatever IQ.
Let's just say it's low.
Hey, I think Tribe was telling you, Paul, it might be, are you using two different browsers? Are you going on one browser using different tabs?
No, I have one browser. Yeah, I have one browser.
Okay.
I don't know why that's doing that. Like I said, if you guys want to talk amongst yourself, fine. If not,
Maybe it's a tab thing. Maybe you should use one separate browser to run your StreamYard.
Boshane, stop pretending like you know shit.
I know a little bit. I mean,
Stop.
I've been here. Okay, yeah. No, it's not pretending like I know. I didn't say it definitively. Like, well, that's it.
We know you don't know shit, so why are you going there?
Okay, thanks, Lou. So says the Canadian.
Oh, it's a bit. Oh, God. How can we can never look at each other as just men and women? We have you're a Canadian, you're Italian, you're a Polak, whatever. It's just how is that so bred into us that we look at each other?
But I'm not white, John. I'm Italian.
that's for sure.
I agree with that. I don't even know white, black, legalese stuff. I don't know, pink, purple.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to reset, because this broadcast has been destroyed long ago. As soon as I let Lou Bastone in here, it was all downhill anyway. So I mean, why even lament, right? You know, accept it. It's gonna be okay.
Please, as soon as I got in here, the fucking numbers doubled. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's because this broadcast has a built-in scale, Lou. So whenever you come in here, the numbers double.
As long as they go up.
Yeah.
Good one.
Okay,
Good one.
I'm gonna reset, see if it works. Then I'm gonna replug this in to a USB-A, see if that works. And then if not, we'll end it. We're moving into the third hour anyway. So we'll call
45 minutes away from the third hour.
Why don't you just
that's a
join-
little bit of an overestimate right there.
Join Jack Talcott. Go ahead. Raid Jack Talcott. I think he's live, isn't he?
Yeah, John pointing out my wishful thinking that the next 45 minutes go by very quickly, almost as if they didn't exist.
Hey, the way time's moving, it pretty much doesn't.
It's been speeding up for me. Right? Like I'm turning around going, it's been 2 weeks. I got to do a broadcast.
No, I'm just saying, man, the days they just seem to just flip by, man.
You know why that is? John, no joke. You know why that is?
Because I'm old.
No, it's this. It's this.
I don't have one of those.
Well, you've got a computer. It's the same
Yeah.
deal, right? You're on it.
Yeah.
You're scrolling. You're whatever.
Right.
They did a little experiment with a bunch of people where they went to some island. I don't know, some island out west. I don't know where. Anyways, an island with no internet capability, and they didn't even have phones on this island. So they had pay phones, like old pay phones that you don't have to pay. You can just dial. And so they did an experiment to see if these young people, 30s, 20s, how they would react to living this way, right? How they would find shit, how they would get directions, what they would do, blah, blah, blah. And none of them...
They were taking kids from this society to there?
Yeah, regular, not kids. Like, I'm old, so I'm
20,
calling
30
them
years
kids.
old, right, okay.
Yeah, so, and they took them to this island, and all of them had very different experiences. Some of them experienced anxiety, some of them experienced some depression. But the one thing that they all said was the same was that they felt time slowed down. They all said the same thing. They felt like the day was so long that it just seemed to never end. And I think that might be part of why people think that time is speeding up, because we're constantly on these fucking stupid things. Like junkies.
This one guy did a test where he had, an analog watch and a digital clock, and I forgot how long he tested, for 48 hours or 72 hours like that, but the digital clock ended up being 4 minutes faster than the analog clock. So I don't know if that proves anything or not, but
well, clocks could be off.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
But I could see how that makes sense.
Let me thank Ryan Horde from yesterday before I forget. I also got a couple more here, and then we're gonna test this out. And then, like I said, I may just come back and do a separate test situation. Jimmy Shively, Jimmy Shively, for fire intro. Appreciate you and all you do, sir. Thank you, Mr. Shively.
Jimmy, can I borrow $10?
No. I'll loan it to you with interest. I've been learning from these small hats.
Fucking Jew.
Yeah. Pedro Castillo for we love our small hats and shekels. See? Pedro Castillo. Perfect timing. Thank you, folks, for your contributions and support. I am blessed to have you. If not, I'd be even more bitter and resentful than I already am. Let's be clear about that. Okay, John. Now is the moment of truth. Am I frozen?
Yes.
God damn it.
Now you're like moving in segments. You're fine now. Fine now.
Okay, so you're saying I'm not frozen, I'm just moving in segments.
Now you're frozen again.
Now you're frozen.
Oh man.
You're still ugly either way though.
Blue, please. Have some nerve. I happen to think I look very cute today. Okay. I'm not gonna let you bring me down. All right, you know what? Let's wrap it up. Why not? And I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do some tech support and get this ironed out if possible. So all you big brain know-it-alls and tech experts, make sure that you're there because I may need you to figure this out. Doubtful, but you never know. Give me some final words, Lewis.
Yeah, I gotta go anyway because I got a fucking coyote's trying to eat my dog. My dog's in heat. I don't know if he wants to fuck it or kill it. So I'm gonna go shoot the son of a bitch.
Is that legal there?
Yeah, if he's fucking with your animals.
Okay.
Plus, my chickens are free now. They're out of winter hibernation, basically. And I'm sure that he's going to come around trying to fucking take a couple of them. So he's getting the 223 in the noggin.
You know, I bought one of those rifles when I was 16 years old. And I came home one day and my father fucking sold it on me without even telling me. I was so bummed that's a great rifle, man.
Oh, there's so many different styles of 223. I mean,
I'm just saying it's a high-powered rifle, and I used to love shooting that thing.
My first rifle, like actual rifle, my dad gave me. I think I was like 13. It was a 22 Hornet. That's not a standard 22. It's kind of in between a 22 and a 223. It's bigger than a 22 Magnum, smaller than a 223, and the fucking thing has some punch. And I shot so many coyotes and groundhogs and foxes and everything with that gun. It was just a single shot.
I only shot targets.
It was a single shot. Harris, what was it called? What's it called? I still have it. Not what? Forget the name. Harrison Rosberg. Some American company. Beautiful, beautiful gun.
Oh, Mossberg?
No, it's not Mossberg. It's Harrison something. Harrison. I don't know. Anyways, go fuck yourselves.
You too.
Thank you, Lou. You as well. Final words, Sean?
No, I don't have anything to say. Are you going to want someone to come back when you come on, or you done for the day?
Yeah, if you got nothing else to do, and you want to check for me within, I'd say 5 or 10 minutes, I should be back on trying to do a live test just to iron this situation out for the future.
Okay, cool. Talk to you later.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Hong Kong Boshene.
Yes, okay. It's been I tune in once in a while there, gun boy. Oh shit, no, I mean Paulie.
Right.
Man, you're doing good. You're doing good.
Worst thing I could be. There's worse things I could be called than gun boy, so I don't take offense to it. A lot of worse things. People close to me have called me way worse.
Could
So
be
I don't
a
mind
good
it.
thing, bad thing. It doesn't matter.
Right.
However you want to interpret it. Yeah, no, this ain't nothing new, and it's not just the USA. There's 14 symptoms. The founding fathers, so-called Christian country, their Bible says don't call anybody father, but even me, but Christian country and all. But starting out right in the beginning, what do we have? Oh, things like the Whiskey Rebellion. Oh, the rabble, the plebeians. So it's never been free. That's what the state is. Because you don't have your own state of being, so something else is the state, spelled with a capital S. So, God bless America, and yeah, it's always been pretty shitty.
Right. God bless America.
All right. Ciao, ciao. Later.
Thank you, Eric. All right. As I said, officially, when it comes to the broadcast back, who knows when, I've at least been showing up for my obligatory once every couple weeks. I'm feeling better as time goes on. So faithfully, as I continue to heal and have less and less pain, I will return to a state of more constant inspiration and motivation. Ironically, this being proper instruction motivates people, of course. So yeah, Gorilla Gems on the way out and back in 5 minutes or so, just to do some testing. All right, so don't bother me about Klaus Schwab and whatever else. I'm over it for the day. Getting my mind back into a peaceful, loving state, brothers and sisters. What is it on the way out? I don't even know where I am or what I'm doing anymore. Paul Unfuckwittable, right? Ciao. I'm somebody who I've not complied. I've not cooperated. I've been arrested over and over again, right? I've had to go to court without an attorney, with no credentials, and stand on what I believe to be the word of God and the truth. And I've got results. Tends to be when I meet people who talk about this what I consider to be false ideology of patriotism they've been uploaded with. Usually these are the same folks who tell me we're very courageous, we want to save the children, we're going to be idols and heroes, but they're not willing to sacrifice and go to jail and be activists and potentially have to sacrifice and give everything up to be given everything back. You all live in a matrix reality world where law comes from a contract, social contract. As far as I perceive it, God makes law and the contract is a trust in God. That's why it's in God we trust. Law is not the same as statute, policy, and code, and law doesn't come about because we made some social pact and agreement. See, this is precisely my point. This clarifies the fundamental difference between us. And these folks are within an illusion, within an illusion, within an illusion, and can't recognize the illusion of self and creation for what it is, because it seems too far out and too crazy to them to be real.
We need to give up certain rights for the greater good of the whole, because that's what a communal society does. That's what the Constitution is. We give up certain rights in order to be able to live peacefully amongst a communal society.
So he can't even fundamentally determine what a right is, just in the sense of right action, right? If there's rights, then there's wrongs. So in his world, not having a connection to God / conscience locally, that's a good term for the clinical folks, conscience, him and others being conscienceless beings have to always refer to paperwork and don't know the difference objectively between right and wrong. And that's why they can't figure out what God is or have the experience of God or be trusting with equity and faith, right? They don't know common sense. They don't know the common law because they think law comes from us all sitting around together and making agreements that we had a right yesterday to kill and rape, but today we're going to give up that right. Because in this new society, raping and killing is not wrong. It's either right or it's wrong. It's either true or it's false. Us just laying eyes on it doesn't necessarily, or agreeing to it, change what is. And this is the fundamental difference between us. I work with what is, even if it can't be shown, right? And I talk to cause and effect, and I reverse engineer that. And this is why I can't debate with or get through to these folks who can't consider this idea of a godly experience or a universal order.
You must give up certain rights, your right to kill, or your right to assault, or your right to steal, or your assault, or your right to rape.
He did even more. See, they say I lie and I bullshit here. I only said 2. He gave 5 examples of wrong behaviors he thinks we naturally have a right to do.
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.